On the 6th of August 2025, the nation Ghana was thrown into a state of mourning, a shocking state of grief that gripped the entire walls of this country. This will follow the demise of 8 individuals who had committed themselves in service to Mother Ghana. On this fateful day, these individuals left their homes, spoke to their family and told them we are off to serve Ghana, but never to return. In the year 2022, we spoke to one of these individuals who then served as Member of Parliament for Tamale Central, but in the year 2025 had been elevated to become Minister for the Environment and Technology. The Honorable Dr. Ibrahim Murtala Muhammed sat with us on the Upside Down show right here on ChannelOne television, which back then was City TV. We commiserate with his family, our condolences with his family, and we wish them strength in this grieving time. On the show today, we're bringing back that conversation with the Honorable Dr. Ibrahim Murtala Muhammed, who has passed on to glory. May the good Lord, Allah himself, grant him Janatul Fidaus. Let's play back that conversation from 2022.
Welcome back. This is the Upside Down show on City TV. Now, I always love it, when we have to talk to politicians, because it looks like all the problems we have in this country, we put them at their doorstep. Yep. Yes, if there's no light as a politician. In fact, if your boyfriend or your husband breaks your heart, you can easily blame your MP for that, because the system is tight.
If he had fixed the road, your boyfriend won't find it difficult coming to visit
Probably
you.
Probably he was coming to you and his tie got burst and, and eventually
blame it on the politician.
We can blame the politician for everything. If you can't pay your children's school fees, it's the responsibility of the politician. Find your MP, Anytime you have issues, deal with your MP.
Yeah, but behind all that big name, politician, honorable, Charlie, there are human beings behind that.
No, but do you realize that this gentleman that we are going to talk to, okay, now, watching him from afar, I had my own kind of,
I mean, when you see them, you're able to draw your own perceptions about them.
And I had my own, I mean, this one in particular, when I watch him on TV, when I listen to him, I had my own reservations about him. Like, this guy, I was the true known crowd, But when I met him and I spoke to him, I was like, okay, I think there's a human side to this, And then I felt like, okay, so we would love to know more about him. And that is why we are bringing him here on Upside Down to know when he's not talking plenty and when he's not, busting people and all that, who he really is. Ladies and gentlemen, please help us welcome our guest for the night, the Honorable Murtala Muhammed.
Honorable.
Right.
I didn't know you consider me to be true.
Well, it comes with it. I mean, sometimes I wonder if it's a cloak you guys wear when you become politicians or not.
I mean, earlier, people like yourself, Okujeto Ablakwa, Sam George, Phyllis Ofosukwache, some kind of squad. I was like, before we cry, what do they want? What do they want? I think that you guys are really cool. Sam George is very cool.
He was Sammy, here a few weeks back.
Sammy is cool.
Okay.
we are left with Ofosu-Kwakye to justify his inclusion to the we are cool people. We are very delighted to have you. Welcome to Upside Down.
I'm humbled.
And you look good.
Exactly, I was going to talk about it.
You. Thank
yeah,
you.
I love this. Maybe I should get one myself.
Okay, I will. In fact, I got it from Tamale.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
From my constituency.
It's necessary.
With the hat, it's just that for me, when I wear the hat, because of the sakura, it becomes slippery, it keeps falling off.
We'll find one that fits you. But Honorable, so, I mean, just as we said in our introduction, you know, a lot of people watch you on TV, a lot of people listen to you on radio, or probably something you've written online, and you are always kind of, you know, you look that serious, you look like always kind of, you know, attacking. I'm sure when the government is bringing out policies, they think like about people like you, you know, these guys. But I'm sure that you are also a husband, you are a father. And you are not a politician at home, you know, you have friends. I mean, when I spoke with you off set, you know, I felt that, so it changed my perception.
Wife controls the home.
But the home is her government, you know.
She's the boss there.
Exactly. You know, but when I communicated with you, I realized that, okay, so I may be wrong in a way. He's really a cool guy. So we would want to know more about you. Who is Ibrahim Murtala Muhammed, you know, MP for Tamale Central?
Well, Ibrahim Murtala Muhammed, I am a Northerner. I am partly Gonja, partly the Gumba.
Okay.
My dad of blessed memory was the Gumba. My mom half Gonja, half the Gumba. I'm a royal.
Okay.
My dad was also an imam, a sheikh, a businessman, and a farmer. My mom was a businessman. A businesswoman, sorry. And I came from a very huge family. My dad had 4 wives, and my mom was the last wife.
Oh, wow.
And those of us alive after my dad passed in the year 2000.
How many children did he have?
Those of us alive after my dad passed were 23.
Wow.
Unfortunately, we lost one of our brothers. May Allah peace and mercies be upon him. So I think I am third to last.
Wow.
So you can imagine.
So you're number like 19?
Yes, number 19.
Wow.
Yes, I'm older than, I think, let me say, I'm older than about just 3. My dad passed when he was 97.
Is it safe to say you were a pension baby?
It's safe.
Yeah.
Many had predicted that myself and my kid brothers that would grieve very early, because my dad gave birth to us when he was completely grey.
Wow.
You know, northern men are so strong.
Very strong.
Even
Very
at the age
strong.
And my dad died at the age of 97.
Oh,
you know,
wow.
My mom was a businesswoman. In fact, our entire family, we were all into business. My dad, my mom. And the 4 wives were all in the same compound, actually. My dad's room, the first wife, second wife, third wife, my mom's.
And there was no confusion?
No, actually,
harmony.
We were closer to our stepmoms and our stepbrothers and sisters than our direct brothers. Anytime you come to the house in the night, you hardly will find me in my mom's room. I will be in my stepmom's room. You go to my mom's room, you find my stepbrothers or stepsisters. You know, and we are communal in nature, and that was also helping. The way we're eating in silos. You find these year groups. You eat.
Okay.
You eat around.
You sit around according to ages.
Yes, and we're eating in the compound. You know, in the north, you sit. We eat around one bowl in that order.
Like a restaurant.
And every woman will cook. This woman, the first woman, will cook for 2 days. The 2 days, she is in charge.
Yeah.
For everybody.
Yes, for everybody.
So you're cooking for like
exactly. I mean, the basin was huge. So if this woman is cooking today, she is for the man. For 2 days.
Okay.
Yeah, for
but
2
the
days.
same woman was a businesswoman. So how was she combining the work,
interesting, maybe
and of course the marital duties?
In the course of time, I would explain. So if this woman cooked for 2 days, then after that, the second woman cooked for 2 days. After that, the third woman cooked for 2 days. After that, the fourth woman cooked for 2 days. Of course, the cooking was done in the...
No, your father was a happy man.
And the interesting aspect of it was that my mom kids were 4. I have a senior sister, I have a kid brother, and a kid sister. None of them was with my mom. My senior sister was with our auntie. Those days, you have to give one of your children to your sisters. And in fact, the house, my auntie's house was just the houses of my father's. But she could not come to our house. She was working for my auntie. My kid brother was with my uncle. My kid sister was with my grandmother, my mom's grandmother, who was very old. So I was the only person with my mom.
Oh, wow.
So I was doing the cooking. In the morning, in the morning, my mom used to sell some items in the market, you know, some of these cosmetics.
Okay.
So in the morning, my mom would get some of the things for me. I'll put it on my head and go around and sell.
Oh,
Before I come back to take my bath and go to school. Wow. So I go to school. That time, water was a huge problem, a challenge in Tamale. So from school, I attended Kulkulu School.
Okay.
One of the most deprived side two schools. And interestingly, Honorable Haruna Idris and I attended the same school.
Oh, no, then I hope Kulukulu School is not as it was.
It's a Sato school. And
but
so
have you done
what have you people done for?
Oh yes, it has actually improved. In fact, recently there was some, you know, storm. I went there and provided some items. I intend to do a lot because when I was an MP, I wasn't an MP for Tamale Center. I was in Nanton, so the focus was on. Yeah. So from school, I get home, I would have to go and fetch water to fill the basin. In fact, there's a place called Bilpiela. It is almost about minimum 5 kilometers from my home.
Okay.
I'll go there about 10 times to fill the basin. After that, then I'll go to the market. We brought up in a business family. I'll go there. The day it was for my mom's cooking. So I will go there by 3. I'll get back home, sweep the compound, start the preparation before my mom comes.
Oh, wow.
So in the night when my colleagues were going out to play, I would wait till everybody finished eating. The entire compound, the entire house, I'll wash everything before I go out to play. So I was virtually doing that.
Sounds like
that means you were playing after 8 p.m.?
Yes, after 8 p.m. Because you see, I was the only child. So I was working, and my stepmoms, they have daughters. So the daughters were, but me, I was compelled. So I was very, very close with my mom. Very, very close. And everybody knows. If you check my DP is myself and my mom.
Oh, wow.
And it's been so since 2015. I lost my mom in 2015. As a matter of fact, I built a house for my mom before I contemplated building my own house.
Amazing.
So when I started working and making money, the first thing I did was that.
Do you cook for your wife now?
Sometimes my wife doesn't believe my cooking. When I do, she'll tell you that no, I won't eat and run. You know, I felt, in fact, I still feel I haven't done much for my mom. When I built a house for my mom as a Muslim woman, I sent her to Hajj. I mean, that's what every Muslim. And unfortunately, my mom died in 2015. It was so hurtful. I tell people that nothing hurts so much than losing your mom. And those who have lost their wives will tell you that losing your wife is more hurtful.
I can
So basically, I am from a very huge family. And the way we were brought up, and it's not only in our home, many homes across the north. Everything you achieve in life, you achieve it collectively. And I say so because when I was in school, you sit down, your cousin, your auntie will call, oh, Murtala, take this milk. You are going to school. Take this. Sometimes they give you money, even when you don't request for. So when you attain anything in life, you should always be mindful of the fact that several people contributed towards making you who you are. So you have a huge responsibility. You come to Parliament, and I will give you a task. Just come to Parliament and go the offices of the northern MPs and juxtapose that with our colleagues from the south. You find people all the time because we are communal in nature. Maybe because of the economic challenges. Mind you, the 5 northern regions are the most deprived, regions. So the communal nature actually helped. And one of the reasons, the rationale behind marrying a lot of wives and having huge families in those days was to have more hands working for you in the farm. Islam, coincidentally has, agreed with some of our practices. Because there is always misinterpretation of the Quranic verses. You hear people say, oh, Islam says marry 4. No. There is a Quranic ayah. Muslims are guided by 2 things. Quran, whatever in the Quran are the direct words of Allah or God. We have what we call hadith. Hadith is the sayings of the whole Prophet. And Sunnah is his practices. The Quran says that marry 2 if you can be fair and just between them. So it comes with some conditions. Marry 3 if you can be fair and just among them. Marry 4 if you can be fair and just among them. But it doesn't even stop there. But if you know you can't, stick to 1. So in terms of sticking to 1 is clearly stated in the Quran.
Yeah.
And I tell
to meet these
yes,
conditions,
but if you can, and I tell,
it's
and I tell my friends who are Christians that I have read the Bible at least from the first page to the second page.
Okay, Genesis to Revelation.
In fact, I took Bible knowledge as free elective.
Okay.
For 1 year, I got A and A minus.
What were you looking for?
Semesters. I wanted to have an appreciation of the religion. When I came to level 100, you know, Legon where level 100 they give you courses to run.
Yes.
They give me philosophy, archaeology, study of religions and history. So I chose Bible knowledge as free elective because in history I did a lot of religions: Zoroastrianism, Buddhism, Islam, Christianity. And for me, I needed to have a proper appreciation of the Christianity as a religion. I attended mission schools. I attended Methodist. Kulugu School is a Methodist primary. And Methodist.
No, we have to visit this Kulugu.
And Methodist DHS. So I wanted to have an appreciation. And I remember when I had discussions with my friends when we were in Lagos, I said, I haven't seen anywhere in the Bible that says marry one. The Bible talks contextually, you and your wife.
Exactly.
So it can be understood.
It doesn't stay.
It can be understood. But our nature as Africans is to have, you know, such large families, to be very honest. But even in Islam, those who say Islam says marry four, no. It says that with some conditions. You can marry a woman because of her beauty, marry a woman because of her faith, marry a woman because of her money. You can marry. Islam permits that.
Oh, so these days, you know, people go like, why is the guy following the woman because of money?
Oh yes, Islam says
it's allowed, guys.
If her economic condition would support the family.
Right.
In fact, the Holy Prophet married, his first wife was Khadija.
Yes.
Khadija was 40 years and the Holy Prophet was 25 when they married.
You don't say.
So Khadija was 15 years older than the Holy Prophet.
He was a sugar mommy.
Khadija, and interestingly, Khadija was a wealthy businesswoman in Mecca before Islam. And she needed a very trustworthy person to run, you know, her businesses. And they told her that the most trustworthy person at that time in Mecca was Muhammad. So Prophet Muhammad was an employee of Khadija.
Oh wow!
So she employed the Holy Prophet to run her businesses. And in the course of that, she fell in love. I mean, they fell in love. But when prophethood came to the Holy Prophet, the first person, you know, she went to Mount Hira, where Angel Gabriel, you know, shrouded them and said, read in the name of thy Lord, your Lord who teaches man what he knows not. He was frightened. When he got home, Khadija said, no, your Lord will not abandon you. And you know what Khadija did? Khadija's uncle, he was called Waraka bin Naufal. He was a Christian. So Khadija took the Holy Prophet to the uncle to tell him what he saw. And Waraka bin Naufal said, you have been predicted in the Bible to be the prophet who will come.
No, we have to come to your
exactly.
We have to come for
Islamic class.
Let's look at your interest in politics.
Yes.
Where did it start from? Did your large family background, you know, influence? I mean, you know, sometimes when you have different families, there's a bit of politics in the house and all that. How did you develop interest in politics?
My parents.
Yes.
I mean, if political party association was based on heritage, I think that I would be our own MPP than a lot of their national executive office holders.
Oh, are you serious?
My maternal grandfather, the Tolna Yakubu, was one of the founding fathers of the Buza Dankwa tradition.
You don't say?
Yes, the Tolna Yakubu. In fact, the current chief of Tolang, Major Suleiman, the former, you know, secretary for security under President Kufuor, he's my direct uncle actually. So
where did
what are you doing in the end?
And my dad was a CPP man. And my dad was a CPP.
No, you are Ghanaian.
Yes. You see, my problem, frankly, in growing up, my dad was politically conscious. My dad was working with one white man before independence. And anytime Nkrumah visited the north, Nkrumah used to come to that person. So my dad had that affection for Nkrumah. So in growing up, my dad appreciated the politics. And they were the CPP. You know, after independence and Nkrumah, and lawyer Ibrahim Mahama, who is a political mentor to many of us, including my senior brother, Honorable Haruna Idrisu. So I grew up being conscious of the Buza Dankwa, you know, Nkrumah's tradition. But trust me, the more I read about the political history of this country, the more I distance myself from the Buza Dankwa tradition.
Isn't the same?
There was something in there you didn't like?
Well, maybe perhaps the way we were brought up with that communal feeling. And that is the core of socialism or leftist political parties, is you're looking at the redistribution of wealth for the need of the poor, so that you ensure that you can have social equity. And I think that the CPP resonated with that idea than the Buzzard and tradition, which is a center right, which says that capital, property owning. What we experience under this government is property grabbing. So on that basis, perhaps that could inform, and maybe perhaps because of my close ties with my father to having an appreciation of our politics, and maybe perhaps that could be the reason. Interestingly, my dad didn't like Rawlings at all.
So listen, your dad was CPP.
Yes, my mom was NPP.
Yeah.
In fact, my grandfather.
Okay, so why didn't you settle with CPP?
My dad didn't like NDC. My dad didn't like NDC because of the burning of the Tamale market.
This was under Rawlings.
Yes, that was the 31st.
Yes.
Right.
And like I told you earlier, my parents, my dad, my family were businessmen. And
So
with humility, I'll tell you that maybe perhaps we didn't go through the challenges many northern homes. I mean, home was not bad.
Yeah.
To tell you the truth, home was so good because of what our parents were. And in 1981-82, the Tamale market was burnt down to ashes without any provocation. The military, and these were some of the excesses of the 31st. I tell people that I don't participate in anything 31st. And I have never participated in anything 31st. And I will never participate in anything 31st for two reasons. One, I think that the overthrow of Nkrumah in 1966 was criminal. So if I condemned the overthrow of Nkrumah, who was a democratically elected government, it would be hypocritical for me to be defending the overthrow of Liman. Liman was also democratically elected. So if I say that the overthrow of Nkrumah in 1966 and the truncation of our democratic process was criminal and illegal, then I should say same on the 31st. So I have never. And let me also admit that perhaps the burning of the Tamale market was also a factor as a result of the 31st. I participated in June 4th. Rawlings was the motivation why I joined NDC, to tell you the truth. But there's one thing about the people of the North and the NDC. If you understand the economic circumstances before Rawlings, you would understand why people, a lot of Northerners, resonated with Rawlings and NDC. I remember in the North, they give you lice by 9 o'clock, lice is out. There wasn't water. I explained by telling us a little boy the distances I was traveling to. And Rawlings provided water. Rawlings provided us with electricity, massive infrastructure development. So it would have been hypocritical if we didn't agree with Rawlings. So I weighed between my family head, that is the burning of the market, and the collective interest of the society I lived in. And I guess that drove me towards, NDC. So Rawlings inspired me, even though I disagreed with the burning of the
But you
market.
come from a business background.
Yeah.
I mean, look at what your parents were doing. You are also a trained teacher.
Yes, by profession.
Why did you decide, to go into politics, strict politics, come to parliament?
Well, I think maybe it's just, I don't know, maybe, interestingly, a lot of us young people in the politics today have been student leaders. From Ghana School, I went to Tamale Teacher Training College, where I was trained as a teacher. Then I went to Legon, where the last batch to write the university entrance exams. Right from, in fact, Ghana School, I was a student leader. Tatco, I was in Nkrumah House prefect. And maybe perhaps that also motivated me in joining and loving Nkrumah. I'm an Nkrumah actually. So from there, Legon, first year I was elected a Congress member. I was elected alongside Shamima Muslim. Shamima was then with Volta Hall. We were all Shamima, Samson Ladi. Bernard was my junior. Many people don't know Bernard got a first class in economics.
Bernard.
Yes, very shy.
He is Bernard.
I debated him, and he will admit I won actually. We formed.
Did you win, or he would have to admit?
No, he would have to admit now, because the reason is that I remember we had a debating club in Legon Hall. It was on the U.S. invasion. In fact, U.S. criminal invasion of Iraq. I was against the invasion in the debate. He was for, and I was the lead, debater on that. It was hot. I mean, intellectual display, and those things.
Like you enjoyed
those things we did. So several years after that, it became very clear that the U.S. didn't have any justification in invading Iraq. It was as a result of Pact of Lies. So I think that Bernard from Hansard would today admit that I won the debate because I have been vindicated.
But then on that day, he won.
Oh no, honestly, Bernard was my junior. He was, even though I had no doubt at all about his intellectual capacity. Some of us perhaps were made politicians, and that's why he's not into
maybe
politics.
With all that is going on now, we can pitch you against him for another debate.
Well,
I think we would love to have that debate on our
no, he would admit that he have won because it is very clear. And he will admit today that if he knew that events were going to turn out the way he would have supported
but you see, Bernard is not too far away, and we are also very much around. So we will arrange for that.
No problem.
But let's look at.
So from Legon, I went to KNUST. I did my first masters in planning. Okay. So from psychology to planning. I was a teaching assistant actually at the psychology department. Right. Then from tech, I did another course in the US, which was sponsored by the World Bank and in development studies. So from there, I came back. Then I did another master's in Legon International Relations and Diplomatic Practice. Some says that I'm not a diplomat, but at least I did. Of course, I wouldn't let Dampari to write the.
I knew you were definitely going to know the way you mentioned diplomacy.
My experience and understanding
of diplomacy.
The Geneva Convention of Diplomatic Relations.
But so would you agree to what the ambassador did?
What did she do that is wrong? Absolutely nothing wrong. That statement, that letter written by Dampari was so reckless, very irresponsible. And to be very honest, I want to believe that he never uttered those words.
But he's got his signature, so as far as we are concerned,
but in this country, when Malam Issa was dismissed, there was a statement issued and signed by Malam Issa. Several years later, Malam Issa granted interview and said that he never wrote those statements.
We'll wait for that several
this thing, I believe, look,
for all you know, okay,
we cannot contribute to the speculation.
If it wasn't IGP,
can I ask you a simple question? The IGP works under the authority of the Minister of Interior. Now, in diplomatic relations, are you then telling me that the Minister of Interior was unaware of the letter written to the British High Commission? And are you then also telling me that if the Minister of Interior were to be aware, they wouldn't cross-check with the Minister of Foreign Affairs before that letter was? Come on, I mean, let's get serious. There is no way anyone would tell me that that letter was written, absolutely without the understanding and the approval
that
of
is
this
for
ministry. But anyway, let's talk
diplomacy to
deal with.
What we know is that there was a tweet,
but that's why we are here, because I
signed by Dampari.
So from when I came back after KNUST, then I went to do that other course. I came back and did another master's.
Why so many different courses?
In international relations. Then I did law. Actually, I did law. After the international relations, I did law. And by Allah's will, I am in my final year at the political science department of University of Ghana doing my PhD.
Okay.
And by Allah's will, I should finish my everything in October, and hopefully, barring any hiccups and any unfortunate incidences, I should be graduating this year for my PhD in political science.
You will graduate.
I intend to do the LLM. When I did the LLB, I didn't go to Makwala. I didn't even write the exams. I intend to do the LLM after the PhD next year. And my understanding is that Legon will now run it 1 year. Okay. The view is that if I have LLB, LLM, and a PhD in political science, I can teach in any faculty of law. So that is basically what I want to do. Nothing pleases me than teaching.
Do you want to be a president someday?
Teacher.
President?
Yes, of Ghana someday.
Well, as a Muslim, there is a hadith. I told you what hadith is. And the Holy Prophet said that Ana Hashim Wallahu wal Mu'ti, that man proposes and God disposes. My life, I believe that is predestined. Both Islam and Christianity believe in predestination. I don't want to say I want to be a president or not be a president. It's only Allah who determined that.
If Allah asks you.
What I engage in now, the unfortunate thing is that Allah doesn't talk to us these days.
Who said?
God doesn't talk to us these days.
Maybe you are not availing yourself.
God speaks to me.
Maybe you are not availing yourself to be talked to.
Sometimes, depending on the kind of food you eat, you may sleep and you think that God is talking to you.
What have you been doing that these days? Allah has not been talking to you.
No, I'm saying that sometimes, depending on the kind of food you eat, you may think that God is talking to you.
That fact has been established. But what have you been doing these days that you are not?
For which reason God is not talking to you?
Well, Muslims believe that if God, what I meant by it is that God won't talk to us directly. Are you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even among prophets, Prophet Musa in Islam, he could communicate with God. And even Prophet Muhammed, when the Holy Prophet was taken to the heavens, it is believed that, you know, when we are praying, there is a particular thing that Tahiyatul Lillah is a communication between Allah and then the Holy Prophet. But we, these human beings, we are engaged in all manner of things. And I think that...
Like what?
Well, everybody. I mean, we all sin. Let's be honest. Even though we pray and work towards avoiding sins, but these people are people that God created them with some, you know, specialities that we do not. So I'm saying that if you ask me whether I would love to be a president one day or not, if Allah destined it, fine. But if you ask me, I don't sit seeing myself wanting to be president, honestly. I engage in politics and I want to do it to the best of my ability so that I can improve the lives of the people I serve. And that is why I have started with massive projects, even in opposition in my constituency.
Well, you've been a minister of state, so...
And I had no dime as a deputy minister of state. And I'm not corrupt.
From two different ministries.
No, I'm not corrupt. I'm serious. I'm not.
And of course,
we will come back and you will explain that further. You know, this is the Upside Down Show. Our guest this evening is the Honorable Murtala Muhammed, MP for Tamale Central. We'll return after this break.
You're welcome back to the Upside Down Show. This is a special edition in honor of the memory of our fallen heroes. On the show today, we're bringing you a conversation we had in 2022 with the now late Honorable Minister for Environment, Science and Technology, Member of Parliament for Tamale Central, Dr. Ibrahim Murtala Muhammed. This is a conversation we had with him when this station was a City TV. Let's get into the personality of this absolutely fantastic individual.
It's been interesting so far. I mean, the Honorable Ibrahim Murtala Muhammed, comrade, is here with us. And of course, we're getting to know him behind, of course, that political figure that we get to see or hear from every day. Now we're going into your political journey itself. I mean, from student leadership to deputy coordinator for the NYEP then. You worked under Abu Gapele?
Yes, I was his deputy.
So what was it like for you when he was being tried?
He's one of the most outstanding personalities I've ever worked on. And I remember when he was incarcerated, in fact, when he was jailed, I visited him. And when he saw me, the first thing he told me, Murtala, I should have listened to you. Honestly, he told me that.
Well, what did you tell him that he should have listened to?
Well, if you want to know what I told him, go and read Manasseh's book on corruption. He singled me out for praises. And when he went to do his investigation, he chanced upon memos and positions that I took on some of the issues pertaining there. And Abu Gapele, an outstanding person. I felt it, and I remember when they jailed him, I wrote something on my Facebook. It nearly landed me into trouble. For me, Abu Gapele's prosecution and jailing is a testimony to the seriousness of President Muhammad in fighting corruption. Many people are unaware that Abu Gapele and President Muhammad have been childhood friends. Yet President Muhammad went ahead to do that. Nanado can't do that.
Can you not bring Nanado into this?
Our taxes are managed by him.
But we are not.
But we are not comparing here.
No,
I'm saying CBS and Breakfast Daily,
I'm saying that
our taxes
are managed by him.
Yes.
I paid. We have been told now. I did Momo today. I paid. You pay. Everybody pays. So,
but you walked out.
I'm
you
saying
didn't
that.
Stay to vote. You walked out.
But I have no option than to do the Momo. So I have every moral right to demand responsibilities from him. And
yes,
therefore,
you do.
And therefore, when I raise issues about, look, it is our responsibility collectively to fight corruption. And I've said, and I will say it here. Me, Ibrahim Murtala Muhammed, I am not corrupt. I have never been and I will never be. Throughout NYAP for 4 years, throughout Deputy Minister for Information, throughout Deputy Minister for Trade, if there is any businessman in this country who has ever given me a dime, that person can come up. No, you see,
did they attempt?
There was an incident, and I'll tell you.
Only once?
No, they didn't attempt. Maybe perhaps the position I took.
Okay.
You know, when I was moved from information to trade,
Yeah.
you know, we had banned rice importation into this country.
Yeah.
In fact, your journalist here, what's the name? The fair guy.
Umaru Sanda.
No, not Umar Sanda. Oh, I was with him yesterday.
Oh, Richard
OJ,
Mensah.
OJ.
Richard.
Mensah.
You can ask Richard. So when we went, the small rice importers came, they petitioned for us to lift the ban. With the director in charge, before we started the meeting, I told them, I said, no one should attempt to bribe me. If you attempt, I will expose and I will ensure you are arrested.
Okay.
The following week, when the big rice importers also came, I told them the same thing. I constituted a team for them to do an independent work. And what I did was I used Kofi Kapito.
Oh, right.
He's an MPP, a known
Protection.
MPP, yes.
Yeah.
And Richard was there. There was another journalist from Peace FM, a lot of journalists. They did. And one of our officers, I never got engaged. They went to Elubu. They went to did their independent work and submitted a report. It was upon the report they submitted for which reason I came to the conclusion that we didn't need to lift the ban.
Okay.
So, and I made it very clear. So, maybe perhaps they won't attempt. And I'll tell you one thing. Look, we all have a moral duty. And I say, as a practicing Muslim, Allah says that anything that doesn't belong to you, if you take it unjustifiably, you pay for it on the day of judgment. In fact, on the day of judgment, God will ask you how you took care of your family, your kids. So if you are a minister or an appointee or a public officer, and you are chopping government money and thinking that you're chopping it, wallah, you pay for it on the day of judgment. You see, that is even very difficult. On the day of judgment, you are taking something that belongs to over 32 million Ghanaians.
Yes.
Yeah.
So for me, not being corrupt is not just a choice. It is a moral duty not to be.
Yeah.
So,
And corruption has been the bane of our challenges in this
so
country.
with all these, I mean, with the way you are speaking, if I am your constituent, I will re-elect you over and over and over again. Why did you lose the Nanton seats?
I'll tell
was it
you.
in 2016? Yeah.
Nantong, in fact, NDC lost the Nantong seat in 2008. I moved to Nantong. And the reasons why we lost Nantong had nothing to do with MPP strength. It was an NDC internal politicking.
Yeah, but you were Tamale boy,
I'm coming.
so why not?
Yes, I can contest in about 5 constituencies.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So when I went there and contested, I nearly lost because I had to do a lot of work. The reasons why the NDC lost the seat in 2008 was the same reason why we lost it in 2016.
Which was?
Because there was internal, we have 4 wards, clear 4 wards. One is MDC, pro-NDC, one is pro-MPP. The Dagbang Chief Sansi also has an impact, Abudu and Dani in there. So anytime there is a little problem in one of the strongholds of NDC, that had nothing to do with me. It had to do with why we lost the 2008. And those who lost said that these people who are now supporting Murtala, they campaign against us and we lost, so we must also not support. I'll tell you one thing. So when I came back to Tamale Central, what I did in Nantong is just outstanding. And the evidence is there. I built 6 classroom blocks for 4 communities. I built a GHS. I dug dams. I provided water scholarships. And I sent 56 people to Hajj. The things I did in Nantong is just unprecedented. In Tamale, the things I did within the period of less than 2 years, because we are just, I provided 25 mechanized boreholes. I completed a school project which was started by Honorable Yunus of Sene.
Okay.
I have provided a clinic through the Qatar charity. And then I finished the entire clinic. I commissioned it last week. Next week, I am cutting a sword for another clinic in Tamale Central. I have provided scholarship, full scholarship, for 10 medical science students in Tamale Central alone. I paid their fees full. And next year, I'm going to pay their fees till they finish the 6th year course.
And are you funding all
Next year,
yes,
I am adding 10 other medical science students. So next year, the number is going to be 20.
Yes.
My first master's was in development planning. I have started preparing towards the payment of the another 10 students and the continuing students. 1,000, 2,000, that is how I put the money. Knowing very well that by next year the number is going to be 20.
Yeah.
Right.
So within the next 2 years, I'm going to add another 10 medical science
to make it
students.
30.
To make it that is what I intend to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Apart from the fact that I pay the school fees of this, I organize free extra classes
Okay.
for 1,250 students. And the reason why I did that was that I had a meeting with the Metro Education Director, and who indicated to me that the performance of students in the BEC in Tamale Metro was abysmal as compared to the other districts.
Right.
And that for me was unfathomable.
Yeah.
Because Tamale is the capital city.
Exactly,
How come
yeah.
that the other districts? And as a trained teacher by profession, I organized the free classes for them for 5 to 6 months. I got the teachers, paid them. When they were going to write, I provided each student with mathematical set, and I provided each student with TNT for the 4 days of the exam. The dividend, the dividends is that
Yes.
after the results came, I had a meeting with the Metro Health Education Director, and he told me the performance this year is far better than the previous years. For me, that is encouraging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I am continuing with those crop of students. We are going to continue SHS classes for them anytime they are at home, so that the JHS who are coming next year, when it's left with 5 to 6 months, will do the classes. I want to gather those students so that we see what the progress is going to be.
Exactly.
Education for me is sine qua non to any success of any
Exactly.
nation.
Yeah.
So
How are you funding it?
I have, unknown to many people, I have been a serious farmer.
Okay.
I have a lot of cattle, to be very honest, and I farm too.
Well, like
As
how
I-
many?
Oh, I wouldn't mention that.
Oh, like I estimate roughly.
No,
No, because we also want to be checking. You've said that you are not
Exactly.
corrupt.
I mean, if you
because
want,
I want to help
if you
want
want
to monitor.
if you want to check,
because you're doing a lot of projects.
if you want to check, it's easy. I can do that. But you see, I didn't even need to mention this. I have 2 tractors that farm for me.
Okay.
This year, I'm doing soya beans. I want to do it over 200 acres.
Oh,
And the
wow.
reason is simple. Why am I not doing maize?
Yeah.
And it's not only me. Many farmers are moving away from maize to soya beans because of fertilizer. Soya beans, you don't need fertilizer.
Okay.
And that for me, if you don't take time, there will be serious food shortage and crisis.
So you're a rich man.
I had a poultry farm.
Okay.
It collapsed.
Okay.
I
Because
could no
of
longer
feed.
feed.
Yeah.
Honestly, it collapsed.
Yeah.
I could no longer feed the farm. When I was a deputy minister, maybe many people do not know, I lived at Caprice. You know Mexico Hotel? If
Yeah.
on
Okay.
this,
I use that
just
church.
behind Boom.
yeah.
I was the Secretary General of the All Africa Students Union, so I had a bungalow at Tessano for 4 years. When I left ASU and I became the NYIP coordinator, I rented a chamber and hall room at Caprice.
Okay.
I was there for a very long time. When I was elected as MP for Nanton and a deputy minister for trade, I lived in that chamber and hall room for 2 years.
Why?
2 years. It took the national security coordinator to threaten me to live there. And throughout the 4 years, I never had a police officer follow me anywhere. I never had a driver driving me anywhere. In fact, this government owes me money.
This is you being modest.
Well, I don't try to appear to be saint. I lived there for 2 years, an MP and a deputy minister and a chamber and a hall
But
for
nobody
2
asked
years.
you to do that.
Yeah.
You just wanted to do it.
Why? Living in a very big bungalow,
Yeah.
and there, I had the same comfort. I never had a police officer driving, follow me anywhere.
You weren't bothered about your security.
Well, it's Allah who can provide security for us. Some people had security, they are gunned down. I never had a driver driving me. It was the responsibility of the state to provide a driver for me.
Yeah.
I chose not to have one. So
Okay.
the state owes me.
Well, but you chose not to.
That's
have.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
The state doesn't owe
So
you.
the state
Why does the
doesn't
state
owe
owe
you.
you?
I'll tell you why. It is the responsibility of the state to do that.
But you
I'm
were
coming.
being stubborn.
Yeah, I'm
They
saying
had
that
to
by
take the
choice.
national security
No, I'm saying
To
that by
drive you out
choice.
of Caprice.
to drag you out
If
of
you
the
allow
and
me
now
to
you
explain.
tell us that we owe you.
By choice, I decided not to have an official driver.
Okay.
Okay.
That's why I haven't claimed that money.
Okay.
But on principle,
Okay. Yeah, now
I
I
could
get
have
you.
gone to claim
Yeah.
that money, but but it was my choice.
Yeah.
I didn't want to have that.
Let me-
I didn't want to have that because imagine a police officer following me,
Yeah.
following everybody. At a time and continuously, the police-citizen ratio is nothing to write home about.
Well, true.
In Tamale, I ride moto. Even when I was a
Even
deputy
now?
minister. Even now.
Okay.
I ride, when I go to Tamale, I ride motor. They pick me on a motorbike.
No,
I
you have
feel
a
very
different
comfortable.
breed,
I feel very comfortable, maybe because I'm a socialist.
Well, perhaps.
I'm sure when you came into politics, I mean, when you became an MP, you were quite young,
Very young, yeah.
And we had some young people. I mean, from the beginning, I mentioned names. You know, the Blackwells, all these guys.
I actually vetted Okujeto when he was contesting for Nooks elections.
Oh, interesting.
I was the vetting committee chair.
Okay.
When I was in my final year, I think Honorable Okujeto was at Presec, a person with whom I know very well. So when he came his first year, I was a teaching assistant at the psychology department. We have come a very long way. Felix, when I went to Tech to do my first master's, it was Honorable Omani who told me that he has Omani told me he has somebody, a brother in KNUS.
Okay.
So when I went, I reached out to Felix, very sharp, intelligent guy.
Yeah.
And interestingly, we happened to serve under President Muhammad as 2 deputy ministers for information.
Yeah.
Omani and I, when Omani was contesting for Nooks elections, Omani, Bernard Mona, John Kuma, they were all contesting for Nooks elections. In fact, in Legon, John was my very, very good friend. John and I agreed on everything as far as student struggle is concerned.
But now
we contested SRC together.
Okay.
Honestly. And John Kuma and I were all in the same hall. We were all in Legon Hall, even though originally I was a vandal. But I didn't have a room there.
So you had the vandal spirit. Even at Legon Hall, you are still a vandal.
I didn't have a room in Komoto. I had a room in Legon Hall. So John Kuma and I, we have come a very, very long way. We were in General Assembly together, and Samson Lade Samson was the JCR president for Ikwafu Hall. So we're all in student politics together. So if you observed, the crop of politicians today, either were directly engaged in student politics, and I became the Secretary General of the All Africa Students Union for 4 years, and I had an office here, one in Tripoli and one in Pretoria. I met Gaddafi a couple of times, so it hurts me what is happening in Libya.
Now we need to understand you better.
But I mean, at that age, when you entered into politics, did you have handlers? Did you have a godfather? Because we're looking at your rise.
Every young person.
And it's interesting you mentioned Inusaf Hussein, because Tamale Central was that also handed over to you?
No, every young person in Tamale, particularly in northern politics, Honorable Harun Idrissa has been our mentor, and has been my mentor for a very long time. I looked up to him for a lot of inspiration, and he's been tutelaging, to be very honest. Honorable Adam Muhammed Amin, Anta. Anta taught me. Honorable Harun. Yes, they all taught me. Anta taught me. Honorable Haruna taught me. And
he was firing at ASEP.
Yes, ASEP, yes. And these were all notes. I contested Honorable Inusaf Hussein in 2006, unknown to many people. That was when I was doing my master's at KNUST and also ASU Secretary General. When Professor Waiseni left NDC and joined NPP, I contested the NDC primaries, lost to Honorable Inusaf Hussein, contested again with him in 2008, lost to him, and then I moved to Nantong because we lost the Nantong seat. So many people do not know that I went and won the seat to the NDC, and then we lost it again. To be very honest with you, after I lost the Nantong seat, I intended to run again. But when we did the constituency elections, and a lot of my people won, those NDC who work against me said, okay, my people have won, they would ensure we lose the seat again. So I decided not to contest in Nantong again. And I decided not to contest. In fact, that was the reason why I felt that I needed to move back to academia and so engage in politics. I never saw Tamale Central coming. And then when Honorable Yunus Hafsini decided he wasn't contesting again, and I consulted, in fact, people called me, to be very honest. So I had a broad consultation, and the understanding was that I needed to come and contest. And by Allah's will, I contested and won.
You mentioned earlier that you have a soft spot for Chairman Rawlings.
Yes, I said he motivated me to join the NDC.
You know, at a point, the former president described some young people in politics as babies with sharp teeth. Were you one of them?
I don't think I was. One thing I maintained, I never said anything derogatory about former President Rawlings, and I never said anything derogatory about any NDC leader. I will criticize. Look, I've been in this communication business for close to 3 decades. I don't think if I were that reckless in terms of communication, by now there would have been a lot of suit court cases against me. I'm very careful. I can be very frontal. I'm not a pretentious politician. I don't say in private what I can't say public. Me, that's how I am. And I hardly lie. I would say it as it is. And I understand that in this game politics, pretense is very important. Pretense is very important. I am not that pretentious politician. So if you do not know, people think that Honorable Murtala is this. I say it as it is. Look, when I lost the Nantong seat, the first person to call me was Honorable Dr. Sibe Yebua.
Oh, okay. Mark.
The second person to call me was Honorable Afenyo Markins.
Are they your
The
friends?
third, very close.
Okay.
The third person to call me was Honorable Kweku Kwatin.
Oh, okay.
The fourth person to call me was Dr. Honorable the former MP for Medina, Boniface.
Oh, Boniface.
Yeah.
And it was after, in fact, the fifth was, yes, more.
Yeah.
And these were people, they called me at very odd hours. That was around 3 a.m., 4 a.m.
Right.
These were people who felt my defeat. Everybody in Parliament knows that Afenyo is my very, very good friend, even though I disagree with him on many issues. But our relationship transcends politics. I don't have any, if I sit on TV and on radio, I would defend what I believe in with the last drop of my blood. But beyond that, beyond the defense, look, these medical science students, I said them, there are MPP kids. I don't discriminate, honestly. Beyond defending what I believe in, there is life to live.
How does it feel like being in opposition?
Comfortable.
It's
you're
not
sure?
possible.
When I say comfortable, comfortable in terms of communication.
Okay.
Because you can raise the issues. But you see, when you are in government, everything you say is measured.
Yeah.
Because we pay them our taxes. Nobody pays his or her taxes to me. And opposition, when people say that profile solutions, it is not the responsibility of opposition to provide solutions. The responsibility of opposition is to criticize. It is the responsibility of those in government to look for solutions. One other thing, sometimes it hurts you because you feel that the country is hugely mismanaged. I mean, corruption has taken a different level. I'm not trying to suggest that corruption is only happening under this government. I mean, President Kufuor said that corruption started from Adam. The difference between President Kufuor, President Rawlings, President Mills, President Muhammed, and President Nana Addo is that, unfortunately, President Nana Addo has perfected corruption. And don't take my words. Take the CDD Afrobarometer. People had a lot of, expectation. If I can borrow Professor Juma Boydu, when they asked him about Nana Addo's fight for corruption, he said it's in tatters. I mean, clearly, the Flagstaff House, unfortunately, has become the citadel for corruption.
So what do you think are the chances of the NDC in 2024?
You know, there is a verse in the Quran, we call it Surah Al-Imran, and Allah says that Kull Allahumma malik al-mulk.
What does that mean?
I will tell you. I want to just say there that Kull Allahumma malik al-mulk. تؤتي الملك من تشاء وتنزع الملك ممن تشاء وتعز من تشاء وتذل من تشاء بيدك الخير إنك على كل شيء قدير. Allah says that he gives power or leadership to whom he likes. And he denies leadership from whom he likes. Allah never said he gives you power because he likes you. He denies someone power because he hates. No. That even those he denies power, he likes them. He can create something good out of nothing and nothing out of good. No one can question how he does that. So you see, the NDC was denied power. God didn't hate us. Perhaps God wanted the people to see. You see, in this country, when you speak English in a funny way, people believe you. I tell people, I started speaking English at the SSS. JSS, I couldn't speak English. Honestly. Even when I wrote JSS, I couldn't. So you see, if I attempt to slang,
no, but what has that got to do with anything?
When you are faking it, people know. In this country, I'll tell you one thing. I don't know whether have you ever seen me in suit? Hardly.
I'm not sure.
When I wear suit, people mock me. Because
they think you look funny in a suit.
Yes, when I wear suit, people like, oh, Murtala is wearing suit. There's nothing wrong with those wearing suit. But you see, in this country, just the way you dress, let someone who is under you wear suit and tie. You all go to one office, they give him attention. That is the nature of our society. Go there and you speak the Saito English we speak. and then they come to force to slang, they would give them attention. That is the sad aspects of it. Those criminals who came to this country under the yoke of colonialism, they had no business coming to our shores. They robbed the state. People want to appear and behave like them. Why? Where from that slanging? People have lived in those countries. Those who were raised, in those societies, when they slang, is understandable. Yeah. Even though when you told me your age, I was flabbergasted. No, I was shocked. No, I was shocked.
No, she's on a different
No, I was shocked. You see, in this country, I tell people that I'm not a young person. I'm not youth. When you are above 40, I don't pretend to be youth. You live in a country, you see people 40, oh, we the young people. When you are above 30 years, you are out of the brackets of youth. Yeah. Unemployment in this country under President Muhammad was 6.8%. President Nana Addo told everybody he was incompetent. Today, unemployment by the census conducted by this government is 19%. Okay. And in fact, no, I'm coming. The budget statement is 12.6%. Right. The dollar to the cedi was how much? Now they're telling us that, oh, depreciation ratio. That is not what the people are interested in. What I am simply saying is that President Mama had one family member, in the person of Joyce Bauer. Mind you, before Joyce Bauer was appointed as a deputy minister, Joyce had been a lawyer in practice for 18 years. Okay. You had that ethnic chauvinist, Professor Adai. They sat and said President Mahama was running family and friends government. You want me to mention the number of family and friends government? Please don't. So I am saying that people in this country, we were all wooed into believing that Nana Addo, when you speak English in a funny way, people believe you.
On that English speaking note, ladies and gentlemen, we end it here. Thank you very much. Even though you couldn't say whether President Mahama stood a good chance to win 2024
in the 2024 elections,
I will
tell you, it's like you're not convinced.
And in the 2024
so do you think he will win 2024? Yes or is a yes or no?
Inshallah, he will win 2024 elections.
Thank you very much.
I mean,
when it happens, we will come back to you. Or if it happens, we will come back to you.
Once again, the decency in ruling this country, the massive infrastructure development, the circle interchange, the Kasua interchange, the regional hospitals, the abandoned projects by this government would come. President Mahama, at least.
I just wanted you to finish with the he will win or he will not win.
You see,
you said inshallah he will win.
All right.
So thank you very much, Honorable Murtala Muhammed.
Comrade Murtala Muhammed.
Oh my God.
Indeed, it is heartbreaking, heart-wrenching that such a fine gentleman is no longer with us. For us here at Channel One Television, we'll continue to remember him as a friend. His family will remember him as a father, a brother, a son, a husband. But the nation Ghana will remember him as a hero.